Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Sim Racing Network, where tonight we've got the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series here at the Monster Mile at Dover International Speedway. And we've got a 200, I believe. See, 200 lap race here at the Monster Mile. My name is Kyle Brooks. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to try to run the show tonight best I can. And next to me, I've got my good friend Don Runkle, who's going to join me up here. And then, of course, we got Aaron Grosskopf, who's going to give us the pictures for tonight. So what do you think we're going to expect to see here tonight, Don?
I don't know, man. I was talking to a lot of drivers before the race, and a lot of these guys are talking about tight conditions here. Same, basic Dover, what we've seen in the past. It's going to be hard to pass here. It's probably going to be one groove, and right now we're dealing with pretty hot track conditions as the track is sitting at 118 degrees currently.
Yeah, I think qualifying is going to be of huge importance. I was saying there's a lot of cars right now that are making their laps. They're all within about a couple hundredths of each other, actually. And yeah, I think qualifying is going to be extremely important, and just managing tires, I think, is going to be a big one as well. Fuel window, we think, is going to be about 80 laps, give or take, so there will need to be for sure 2 pit stops during this race. It'll be interesting to see what kind of strategy they use, if they stretch it out all the way or try to just split it up evenly. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. So the standings go, however, coming into this race. We've got the points leader is Daniel Falkingham with an 8-point lead over Justin Fuller. Third place is Trey Edson, 15 out of the lead. And then fourth and fifth are David Comstock and Chad Cole. Also, we have another championship battle, kind of a chase within a chase, if you will, which is the... So once my spreadsheet opens here, I apologize. The English Auto Dash for Cash. So tonight's actually the elimination race, where 8 drivers are eligible, and only the top 4 are going to advance after this round, which will be in Kansas. And so the top 4 will advance for a cash prize, which was very nicely offered by English Auto. Right now, Daniel Falkingham is leading that points as well with 77, followed by Trey Edson with 73, David Comstock with 69 points, Justin Fuller with 67. Those are the top 4. Then you have Chad Cole 4 points behind Fuller with 63, Nick Silver with 50 points, Mike Kelly with 37, and Nelson Rivera with 35. And those are the points after the first 2 races were Richmond and Talladega.
Yeah, that's some pretty tight battles right there between the championship and that Dash or Cash series. There sounds like Daniel's pretty much running the show on both of those right now.
Yeah, he's been on a charge in this series. He's done really well. I'm saying in qualifying too, it's really tight right now. Right, it's 0.003 of a second gap between Justin Fuller and Tommy Ryan, and you've got the top. Looks like the top almost 10 within like half a tenth of a second. So these guys are all right on top of each other.
Speaking of Justin Fuller, yeah, sitting on the pole right there. We had a little action with him last night. I hear at the end of that Xfinity race.
Yeah, say there was some late race contact. Obviously, not everybody had the same opinion of how things went down, but it's part of racing. But yeah, so say it's a good start for him. He say won the pole yesterday and won the race, and say starting from the pole again tonight. And say we'll take you through the grid here with the starting lineup for tonight's race at Dover. So starting on the front row in the 51, we have Justin Fuller. Lining up next to him, only 0.003 of a second behind, though, is Tommy Ryan.
Behind him is going to be in the 81 of Adam Gillen, and next to him is going to be in the number 52 of Sean Casto.
Lining up fifth, we've got Anthony DeBarro, and next to him is Mitch Rollo.
Behind them is going to be the number 82 of Chad Cole, and next to him is going to be the number 40 of Trey Edson.
And then rounding out the top 10 is the number 31 of Eric Arnold and the 42 of David Comstock. And then you'll see the remaining grid scroll through your screen here as the field gets ready to take the grid.
Yeah, these guys are lining up on pit road. Justin Fuller, yeah, like you were saying, he got the pole last night and won the race, and sitting on the pole tonight. Definitely got a fast car right there, but we got a few guys back there that are definitely going to be guys to look for tonight. Chad Cole's one of them. Eric Arnold, we've seen him fast each and every week. Dave Comstock was putting down some wicked laps in practice also. So we got a lot of fast guys back there tonight.
Yeah, like you mentioned, for Chad Cole, yesterday he was going for 4 wins in a row in the Sim 500 series, came one position short, finishing second. So still a pretty good average over these last 4 races, but he's going to try to cap it off here with one more at Dover. He said he really liked the way this track feels with just his driving style. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of strategies we get here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. This should be a good race tonight. Well, I think we said we only had like only 4 cautions last night. So these guys can definitely go on some long green flag runs, and tires will definitely come into account. I think if we get these long green flag runs, it's going to be the guys that can take care of their car and guys that can take care of their tires. And I mean, if that happens, if we get long runs, I'm looking at guys like Chad Cole and Dave Comstock to be up front because those are the guys who really know how to take care of their stuff. So.
I say we're gonna let the pole sitter tonight though, Justin Fuller, kind of focus us as that's already gonna be 1 to green here coming onto the backstretch. However, I think we're gonna try to talk to some of our Sim Racing Network associates here with, let's say we'll do Ben Kilcrease as well as Mitch Rollo. I think if we get the opportunity, just see how their races are going, and say just nice excuse to talk to our fellow presenters who give us some of the audio and the pictures with some of the other series. Nice to see him get a chance to race though tonight.
Yeah, we get to talk to them on both ends of the camera. So yeah, these guys are coming around right now they're going to take the green flag here. Justin Fuller's leading them around, followed by Tommy Ryan right next to him. And yeah, after 200 laps, we're going to see how many tempers are going to be flaring after this one.
So say, how's it that Ben says a 2x2x2 coming to the green right now? So say Justin Fuller going to lead the field here. Say waiting for him to take the green. Hey, there he goes. Gets a good start off the green and say right behind. Oh, Adam Gillen gets really loose.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
In the front.
Look like there's a lot of tire spin on that restart. We're trying to figure out which cars it was. Looks like Daniel Falkingham was definitely one of them. The number 22, Nelson Rivera, looked like he was involved also. Look like we had a lot of tire spin right there. I saw some guys. It looked like the guys in the second row were spinning their tires there.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the replay here. It looks like the 22 of Nelson Rivera, unfortunately, a lot of tire spin, just hooked into Nick Cohan. And then also that collected, like we mentioned, Daniel Falkingham as well. So going to really hurt their nights right off the bat. Say those 3 cars have a lot of damage. And that's really unfortunate. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll be able to get some of that damage repaired and make another run at it here. But yeah, their fronts of their cars look like modifieds right now.
Yeah, that's definitely those guys are gonna take a huge hit in the points, especially Falkingham right there. I mean, you were just talking about pre-race about him, how he's leading the dash for cash there. He's leading the championship points. There on the first lap, he gets involved in a wreck there. I'm looking at Nick Cohan's car right now. That car, he's limping to the pits, smoking. Whole front end of that car is destroyed. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get that thing fixed and back out there. But yeah, tires spin early, these cold tires, and you see what happens there on the start.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised because I mean these things. I mean they do make a lot of power, and I saw a little bit with the Xfinity cars last night, but I didn't think they'd spin like they did right there. So yeah, really unfortunate. That's and like you mentioned for Daniel Falkingham, that's also going to put him at risk for the English Auto Dash for Cash series here. So I think he's going to need to try to fix as much as he can and just try to salvage as best of a finish as he can. Unfortunately, going to have to probably hope for a little bit of bad luck from some of the guys around him.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of racing left to go. And yeah, I'm actually surprised, too, that there was some tire spin there. I mean, you didn't just see it right where the wreck happened either. I mean, I saw a couple of cars throughout the field on that start where it looked like they, got a little squirrely, got a little tire spin going on there. So it wasn't just right where that right where that wreck occurred. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be something that these guys are going to have to be aware of the rest of the restarts for tonight, especially on old tires.
And say, while we have the opportunity, I'd see if I can grab one of our own here. See if I can pull up Mitch Rollo and see if he can tell us what he saw there. So let me give him a second. Hopefully I don't catch him in the middle of a conversation here, because you never know with these guys. Hey, Mitch Rollo, this is Guile and Don up in the booth. Want to see if you have a copy.
Yeah, I got you, bud.
So I'll say, obviously that was not the kind of start we would be expecting here, but what did you see from your end there? That looks like a lot of cars are spinning their tires on that start.
Yeah, the tire spin was really bad. I spun them quite a bit too there, and the car in front of me just spun them especially bad. And Thanks to Trey Edson for not running me over. He did a really good job of identifying that everyone was checking up in front of him. So luckily we still got our SimSpeed shop Ford Fusion in one piece here, and we're looking to make up a few spots here. Happy with our starting position here tonight, though. That's been one of our weaknesses this season so far. So it's good to start up here.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you kind of think starting up front you'd be safe, but I mean we even saw Adam Gillen starting at the front row, starting third spot, get it really loose as well. However, let me double check. Okay, pace car still has lights on, so I didn't want to make sure I was running you too late here.
Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, I know it was definitely a ton of wheel spin there for everybody there, but unfortunately happened on lap 1 and took a lot of good cars out of the race. So hopefully we can just keep it under control from here on out under the restarts at least, and just make some progress with that, because we don't need to be wrecking on the restarts like that.
All right, well, we'll try see if we can catch up with you again a little later. We might also try to grab one of your teammates as well, but I'll get you back with your teammates, and good luck here.
Thanks, man. Have fun up there.
Yeah, it looks like he was one of the lucky ones. Didn't get involved in that wreck right there. We see some of those guys that it was kind of a weird way the pace car came out with that wreck on the restart. Some of those guys got kind of caught behind the pace car, and the field was a little discombobulated there a little bit. But now we got those guys doing the wave around, and everything should be lined back up. It's like the lights on the pace car are off, and they're going to go back green here shortly.
Yeah, and that really hurt some of those guys, like especially like we'd mentioned earlier, Daniel Falkingham didn't even get a chance to repair some of that damage. So unfortunately he's going to probably be hoping for another quick caution here. That way he can then hop into the pits, get some of that damage fixed, and see what he can make happen there. So say we're gonna give it another try here. It looks like Nelson Rivera is still hanging out in the pits, getting more of that damage repaired. He took a couple hard shots. Pace cars here in 3 and 4 lining up. We've got still Justin Fuller, followed by Tommy Ryan, Adam Gilliland, and Sean Casto are the top 4. Waiting on the pace car, and there goes Justin Fuller taking the green. Another good start by him. Not as much wheel spin. I think everybody's being a little more careful this time by, but looks like Adam Gillen's going to be able to get by Tommy Ryan, get up into that second position here, coming off of 2. And then also Anthony DeBarro is able to follow through and grab that 4th spot as well.
Looked like everybody took it a lot easier there, getting through the gears and getting down on that gas pedal on that restart there after what we just saw on that yellow beforehand. But Justin Fuller got a great start there. Saw him put the power down. He's definitely got his line going on, and he's just kind of setting his pace and setting his speed right now. Looks like everybody's kind of settled in so far. Just kind of a one line going all the way back there. Looks like back in like maybe 20th or 21st before we see anybody side-by-side action.
Yeah, talking to the drivers, it did sound like it was going to be low line is going to definitely be where you wanted to be. So it looked like everybody was kind of trying to get down as quick as they could. I think this is going to be, especially after a lap 1 wreck like that, there's going to be a lot of people just kind of like trying to get settled and then try to then start seeing how things shake out and start moving forward.
Yeah, they don't call this the Monster Mile for nothing. I mean, we got walls on both sides. This track closes up really quick. I mean, action. I mean, things can happen really fast at this track, as we saw in that last wreck. I mean, it's just a wrong place, wrong time. Cars can block the track really quick here. It's a mile track, but sometimes it almost feels like it races like Bristol in a way.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I have a lot of fun racing here, but yeah, it's one you got to keep 100% focus on, because you kind of blink wrong and you're going to catch yourself on the wall there. But so yeah, right now we've still got Justin Fuller leading the way here. Adam Gillen's hold on to 2nd, Tommy Ryan in 3rd, and Anthony DeBarro 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is Sean Casto. And like you said, pretty much single file here. A few moves going on right there. So you just was able to see David Comstock able to sneak by Eric Arnold there for the 10th position. Sorry, for the 9th position. So move Comstock up a spot.
It looks like we got a couple of the guys further back, maybe passing for positions, making some passes and some moves back there. I'm watching right now. Brian Boris is right now all over the back of the number 9 of Bobby Wetzel, and Boris right now. Brian Boris. I mean, he's looking underneath him right now. He's looking to kind of make his move through the field. He's kind of sneaking his nose down there a few times, but he's also got to watch out for the number 32 of Shane Ewing coming up on the high side. Matter of fact, makes that pass there.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, going to lose a couple spots there.
Yeah, that's where you have to be careful because it's one of those momentum things where you get pinned on the bottom, you just don't get the momentum on exit. As Shane Ewing's now working on Bobby Wetzel there for the position. But yeah, you get to the bottom, you just don't have the momentum if you can't clear him off the turn. It's really hard to get the power down there.
Especially if you got a car on the high side, I can see that. I don't have a whole lot of experience here at Dover. I haven't turned a whole lot of laps in the Cup car here, but I can imagine that kind of being bound up on that low side right there, you can't let the car drift up like you were saying and let that momentum kind of carry you through the corner, especially if you got a car into the car up there. So yeah, I can see how you can kind of get almost kind of hung out to dry on the bottom side, so to say.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll say, speaking of Shane Ewing, though, he's had a really nice start here. Started 24th, is already up into 16th position with only about, I'd say, 10 laps of green flag racing here at this point. So, yeah, a really nice start for him.
Yeah, you got to hope he doesn't, kind of burn his tires off there. He's got to take care of that right front tire. That's going to be the one he's going to really burn off here in these, in these high banks here at Dover. These guys, especially if we get a long run here, are really, really going to have to take care of their tires because that's gonna mean everything later on in the run. When these guys get really, really tight coming off these corners, it's going to be everything about traction and just trying to keep it off that wall. This is a track that you kind of really, you gotta really focus driving at this place the whole time. You can't really doze off here. You can really lose it coming off one of these corners and put it in the wall quick.
Yeah, and that's actually a really perfect way of putting it too. Because when we interviewed Fuller, he mentioned towards the end of that race he caught the apron a little bit and it just took him a few laps to get it back into that rhythm. Because this is a track where everything's happening so fast. If you can get your rhythm right here, you can make some really good laps. But once you get thrown off a little bit on it, it takes some time to kind of regather yourself and just get back at it again. But I say right now he's doing a really nice job. He's got about a half a second lead on Adam Gilland. And they've got about a second on Anthony DeBarro in third.
Yeah, the top five are kind of spread out here. We see we really don't see a battle in the top five till we get to the 52, Shane Castro there with Mitch Rollo's right behind him. We talked to Mitch earlier under that caution there. Mitch started 6. He's currently 6, so he's not running too bad right now. Kind of hugging that low, running that low line right now that we were talking about. You can see him getting up on the 52's bumper right there, trying to make something happen. He might try to look down low a little bit, but again, like Gael was saying, we don't want that. He doesn't want to lose that momentum trying to make that pass on the low side there. So I think Mitch is just trying to bide his time right here and look for a good spot to be able to try to make that pass.
Yeah, as we ride on board with him, you can see how the car, you kind of just jump out of the turns right there, and then so he gets a good run on Sean Castle's going to make a run entering one here and see if he's able to kind of clear him. So you can get his nose under him, but it's just getting that power down right there. You hear it. He had to lift out of it just because of that. You really need the whole track to do it. So you got to figure out the way to do it. One way I've seen some drivers do is they arc the turn really high and then really cut the bottom to get a good exit. And that's one way to try to get some good momentum to hopefully have a chance at clearing the driver.
It's almost like you basically do the fast line is kind of like driving it off, like you were just saying. Yeah, you arc it up and you kind of drive it off and kind of straight, try to make that corner as straight as possible coming off so you can put the power down and almost extend the straightaway a little bit so you got a little bit more speed going through those corners like you were saying. And it's a kind of a delicate balance. Like Mitch is trying to make the pass here, but at the same time he doesn't want to burn up his tires in the process, and lose positions trying to just get that one.
Yeah, and he has to be especially careful as well, where he's still got to be careful because right behind him he's got Trey Edson in the 40. So if he goes too much, then he's going to have risk of Trey trying to jump underneath him here. Now, saying Trey is one of those drivers that's part of the English Auto Dash for Cash, so he's trying to get it as best of a position as he can as well. That way he can get into that Final Four.
Chad Cole right there, too, behind Trey. He's in that exact same position. He's in that Dash for Cash, one of those Dash for Cash drivers, and right now in 8th position, trying to get a spot there on Trey Edson. And they're not only fighting for championship points, but they're fighting for cold hard cash.
Yeah, I was saying, like you mentioned, I say you got Fuller leading. He's one of them as well, and then you got them all right together: Trey Edson, Chad Cole, and David Comstock as well. Those four are all part of that Dash for Cash, and that's where what happened to Daniel Falkham on lap 1 on that start. it's really going to put him at risk of falling out of that top 4 for the shootout in Kansas.
Yeah, I'm showing Falkingham right now in 33rd place after starting 15th. Had a good run. You had, was a guy we were going to see that was probably going to go toward the front here and have a challenge for the win. But now all these guys are definitely taking advantage of it. Trey Edson, he's a guy we were talking about a little while ago. He's making some moves right now. He's up to 6th place, getting another position there, and working his way up. He's working his way up to the front and working his way up there fast.
Yeah, and I think he's kind of doing what we're talking about. So although it looks like Sean Castro kind of took that line from him that he was trying to do, where you get that kind of run that middle top side, and then get that big exit on him. So you can see right there. Yeah, it looks like Castro's starting to follow that same line, thinking that might be the faster way around right now. And I'll say that's where Edson has to be careful too. Is if he follows that line, that could open up the door for Mitrillo to take a peek back inside.
And you're not missing anything up front right now, folks. Fuller's still leading this race by about 1/3 of a second there. Looks like 0.33 seconds there ahead of Adam Gilliland. Gilliland's been catching up to him a little bit. Do got a little bit of a close battle for 3rd place between 3rd and 4th. Anthony DeBarro and Tommy Ryan are definitely battling it out here for position. They've gotten a little bit tighter battle going on. I've seen Anthony kind of poking his nose under Tommy a few times, but that position back behind them, it's just a hornet's nest back there between Troy Edson, Mitch Rollo, Chad Cole, Dave Comstock, all those guys back there. They're really battling it out here.
Yeah, so they're starting to be a little more aggressive. I say, there you go.
We got some
Trey
contact
got a little
there.
Loose. Yeah, saying that gets Mitch Rollo underneath. Says, all right, if you can't get by him, I'm going to give it a try here. But you're going to see right now where Trey's going to get that momentum on the exit there.
Oh, I thought Mitch was going to push up into his wheel there a little bit. Sorry to interrupt you there, Guy. I'll sorry to walk on you, but yeah, I thought he was going to get into him. You can see those 3 unique lines those guys are running there, even all the way back to Comstock. It's like all 3 of those guys. From Mitch Rollo, Chad Cole, and Dave Comstock. You can see those 3 unique lines they run in the corner right there. Each one like half a lane higher up. You can watch them going through the corners.
Yeah, and that's what they're all trying to do right now, is trying to get that little bit of clean air, try to find that where they need to go to get around the other. And I was saying that's where we saw right there with Trey. He's trying to get that high arc, but he's got to be careful because you got Mitch Rollo really trying to fill that hole. And I was saying right there, though, he gets a really good run, Trey Edson, but he thinks better of it at this point. But at some point, he's going to get a little frustrated. I think he's going to have to try to force it in there.
Well, he gave a little bit of bumper there to the 52 of Casto. He gave him a little bit of a push, gave him a little bit of bumper, let him know he was there. And you can see Comstock diving down underneath Chad Cole there. Looks like he's going to take that position right there. Pushes up a little bit into Chad. Doesn't give him a whole lot of room. They're side by side as they're going to dive him down into the next corner there.
Yeah, I was saying right in front of this group, you have Nick Cohan, who had a lot of damage from that earlier start, unfortunately. So we'll see if they try to use him as a pick, possibly. As I think he's going to stay up at top out of the way, which is a really nice move on his part. But even trying to stay out of the way here is really difficult just because of the fact that,
tight.
like I said, you need that whole exit to get the power down.
Yeah, this track is so tight. It really, really is. Real estate's super important here. And, I mean, these guys, even trying to get past a lap car here, can sometimes be sketchy. Like I said, you got to really, really drive your car at this track.
So they were all able to clear him pretty well. So it's kind of settled out for just a moment, but as they give them another lap or two, I'm pretty sure they're going to start trying to find where they need to go to make those runs again. So I saw Edson right there make a nice arc as well. So they get a really good run on Sean Castro. So now you got Castro running the bottom, and this is, I think, we're going to see that difference of exit speed.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that a lot. I mean, and right now Fuller is just setting a blistering pace. I mean, he's almost got he's just under 2 seconds right now on third place. First and second pretty much are just pacing this field right now. The real battle, you're not missing anything up front, folks. We don't mean to ignore that battle up front, but this is pretty much the best battle we got going on for position for some of these leaders here. And these are a lot of these dash for cash drivers, so that's why we're kind of keeping an eye on these guys. You can identify which drivers those are by the green numbers and green spoilers that you see on their cars there. So we've been talking about a lot of these guys all night. Trey Edson, Dave Comstock, Chad Cole. We talked about Daniel Falkingham earlier. He's already been out of the race. Fuller, Justin Fuller up front there. So we see a good battle going on right here still with these guys fighting for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, and right behind him, we haven't mentioned him yet, but he's also one of the Dash for Cash eligible drivers. Is the 15 of Nick Silver. He's working on Chad Coleman right here for the 10th position, and they're right behind that group. He's been working Coleman over for a few laps here, just can't quite get him cleared. So it looks like he's going to send it pretty deep in there and try to get that power down to clear himself on the exit. But I think Coleman's just right at the bumper.
Almost
man,
made
they're
contact.
so close.
I thought for sure that right there, that looked like we were going to see a wreck right there. And you could see Eric Arnold taking advantage of that too, trying to sneak down into there. I thought for sure that he was going to push right up into Coleman there, and we were going to have a nasty wreck right there. But they made it work. He got by him without an incident. And as you were saying, another Cash for Dash driver moving his way up toward the front.
Yeah, so that puts him into the top 10 there. I was saying I'm looking right behind there. You got a little Crayola car peeking through one of my teammates, Steve Goschalk, in the 91. So
yeah,
I have to do a little bit of bias towards him. He's making a really nice run here. He started 18th. He's up to 13th right now. And just behind him is Mike Kelly, who started 23rd and is up all the way to 14th as well.
Yeah.
Actually, Mike Kelly's another one of those Dash for Cash drivers as well. So I say there's a reason why they're in that situation, and saying they're working their way towards the front here.
Yeah, they're working their way up there, and like you were saying before, Godshock there, Nerf, and that Crayola car, Steel Horse Racing teammate of yours, he's definitely making his way up there. I think it's just a matter of time before he passes Coleman here. I think Coleman's kind of maybe used up a little bit of his tires early on a little bit. It seemed like he kind of fell back a little bit. It just seems like he was kind of battling with some of those guys that were in front of him a little bit more. And then he just maybe wore his stuff out trying to hold some of those guys off. But it looks like Nerf's going to be all over him here in just a minute or two.
Yeah, so I'm looking up front here. The top four are still pretty much the way they were. So you've got actually now Tommy Ryan starting to close up a little bit on Anthony DeBarro. He's been actually one of the quicker cars in the track the last few laps. Not a lot quicker, about half a tenth or so. But say when you're running laps like this, though, every little bit counts. So say up front, still about that 0.3 of a second lead between 1 and 2. I'm noticing Fuller starting to get a little bit loose on exit, though, so he's going to have to start being a little more careful with those rear tires. It's easy to get him angry here at Dover.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're almost a quarter of the way through this race already. We're closing in on lap 50, and these tires are definitely getting some wear into them. We had a caution real early on, so we've got about. I mean, some of these guys pitted. I didn't even really pay attention too much. I don't think a whole lot of guys pitted on that race there, except the guys that were basically trying to fix some damage on their cars. So these guys have over 40 laps on these tires already. So these tires are definitely coming into account for how these cars are handling right now. As you can see, I'm watching Mitch Rollo. He about lost it coming off the corner there. Had to chase the car coming down a little bit. So these cars are getting a little loose here.
Yeah, so we talked about it should be if all goes normal, it should be a two-stop race here for fuel and tires. With 200 laps, though, it's just the question will be when do they want to actually come into the pits. The fuel window's about 80 laps, so they should be able to go another probably I'd say about 40 since we had that early caution. So I'll be curious to see if some of these people short pit, because the thing is pit road is so sketchy here, easy to overshoot them. I say you got Mitch Rollo working on Trey Edson now, say kind of return the favor. He got by me earlier. I think I'm a little quicker now. Let's see if I can return the favor. So he gets a good run at the bottom. Oh, he's able. Yeah, it should be able to clear him here. Yeah, it looks like he's able to clear that. Oh, really
shot
loose.
To the bumper there. And you can see Dave Comstock had to shoot down to the bottom of the track there because he lost a little momentum from that contact that those two made. But a little shot to the bumper. Mitch Rollo got a little shot to the bumper by Trey Edson there.
Yeah, it's just tough here. I was saying, especially when you run that high arc there. It's easy enough to get loose on your own, but when you get that good exit speed, it's sometimes just it's all you can do not to bump into that guy. I've had a few where I try to let somebody by and I wind up getting right on him, and I have to be real careful just because of that, of the momentum you can gain.
Well, you said it all night. I mean, momentum is the key really here to this track, is carrying the momentum through the corners. And sometimes you get all that momentum and you just don't want to give it up. You really don't. You don't want to get off that gas. You don't want to step on that brake or drag that brake, especially if you're racing with other guys really close to you. So, because you know that just burping that throttle just a little bit through that corner, you might lose 2 spots to guys behind you. So, if you got to give a bumper to that dude in front of you a little bit to let him know, hey, you got to move it just a little bit. I'm bringing some power through this corner. Then, that's what you got to do, because, like you were saying, momentum is the key here, especially when you're running side by side.
Yeah, so you got Nick Silver trying to work over Chad Cole there. So I think Chad got held up a little bit by Trey Edson. So I think this is where the tire wear is starting to kind of play into it. Some of these guys are able to save their tires that little bit more. Say running 2x2 obviously earlier in the race, that's going to wear him a little extra as well. So Chad's trying to find where he wants to go to get this pass done. Right now he's hanging on the bottom line, but I think if he can get a little bit of a gap on Nick Silver behind him, I think that's where he's going to want to try to kind of do that middle top entry and get that nice exit to try to make the run on the bottom. But right now it seems like he's pretty content with just kind of following pace with Trey, which I'm guessing will change a little bit as it looks like Comstock's starting to sneak away. And yeah, I think you were right. Looks like, I said, we're moving a little bit forward here. It looks like Tommy Ryan actually was able to get around Anthony DeBarro. And I'm actually looking like, it looks like DeBarro has a little bit of right front damage as well. So I think he may have gotten into the wall here, which might be also hurting some of that long run speed, because Aero does play a pretty big role here. And then, yeah, now Chad Cole is also able to get around Trey Edson. So move him up into the 8th position as we're here completing lap 50, say quarter distance already.
Yeah, these guys are just clicking laps down right now. Justin Fuller, we haven't really talked about him a whole lot tonight, just mostly because he's been out front and he's been pretty much pacing this field, just getting it done. Been keeping about a relative good half second in front of Adam Gillen, somewhere around there. It's closed. Adam's closed up to him a little bit, and and Fuller's kind of riding just a little bit. He's just having a Sunday drive right now. It seems like he's having a good old race right now. He's just clicking off some laps now. But Tommy Ryan,
he's getting loose though.
Yeah, he did tap that wall just a little bit. We saw some sparks flying. Tommy Ryan, we talked about earlier, got by Anthony DeBarro. So right now, basically the best battles in the track are still back to where we've been talking about over there by Mitch Rollo, Dave Comstock, Chad Cole, Nick Silver, Eric Arnold. Basically, the rest of the top 10 is the best battle on the tracks right now, and even these guys have kind of spread themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm noticing there's been some pit strategy going on. So I saw Bobby Wetzel just came in about a lap or two ago, and this last time by Trey Edson as well came in from the top 10. So it looks like, I think they're going for, I believe, trying to think of lap 50, lap 100. I think they might be doing the 3-stop strategy, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm thinking. They might be doing that. They might be trying to do it that way. Maybe they figure they'll have the fresh tires. They can come out and gain some time on those fresh tires, as opposed to these guys that'll be on older tires. And even if they have to make an extra pit stop, as you see right now, Mitch Rollo making the pass right now. Oh, Mitch Rollo making a pass because Sean Castro is coming down pit road right now. As you see, he's giving up 5th place to come down pit road, get some tires and fuel there right there.
Yeah, say you look right now at the leaders, you're going to see Justin Fuller, but you're going to see Trey Edson just blow by him. I'll say he's, like right now the leaders are running 2.5 seconds slower than what they were their fast laps of the race here. And so, yeah, so you can see right there Trey Edson just yarding them. So you're going to put a straightaway on them almost just with that half a lap.
That's how much of a drop-off we have right now in these guys. As you see the leader lapping or trying to lap Nick Cohan. He's limping that car around the track still, trying to gain those valuable championship points after being involved in that incident early on. But, Fuller right now, I don't know if he's probably just going to be content to stay out there and probably just run it dry, just kind of stay out there and run this thing all the way until he can't run any laps anymore. And like you were saying, just do that 2-stop strategy as opposed to some of these guys that look like they're going to go on the 3-stop strategy if we stay green.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of that last night as well, and got one really loose. I think that was DeBarro. He's able to hang on to. He's got Mitch Rollo now right behind him.
Great save, though.
Wow, that was close. So we're going to take a look at this on the replay here. Yeah, taking a look coming off of 2 here. Mitch Rollo Anthony DeBarro gets a little loose, and then he winds up hitting the outside wall, which sends him straight back to the inside wall, but he's able to hang on to it. Kind of slides back up in front of Mitch Rollo, and he's still hanging on to that position so far, but that was definitely a moment for him.
Yeah, he didn't lose the position. It was great that he held on to it right there. That was definitely a close call for him. And I'm looking back up front. Looks like Adam Gillen's starting to close in just a little bit on our leader. It's we do have pit stops coming up here, so I'm curious to see. I think these two pretty much are going to run it dry, but I don't think Adam. I mean, catching up to him is one thing, passing him is a whole other thing, and we know Fuller. He's definitely not an easy. He's definitely not an easy guy to pass, and yeah, I'm watching him still fight that car coming off the corners just right there.
Yeah, I know a lot of them are having moments right now.
Yeah.
Also, Mitch Rollo had one just that last lap on the front stretch as well. I say that's the risk of this three-stop strategy is if you get caught a lap down. Well, you pretty much are going to go 2 laps down if you pit under green here.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you catch a caution, I mean, even with the wave around, you're still going to kind of get
you're going to
hurt.
be chasing it the rest of the night, basically, and it's just not the way you want to do this. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, and I saw Chad Coleman as well just entered the pits this last time by, so he is, I believe, if it's 80 laps, I think this will be right when that window opens for that 2-stop strategy. I think that's kind of an early taker that he's aiming for on that one, so that's also another way of doing it here. Kind of just go as soon, almost like the road courses where you pit as soon as you can make it to the end.
As soon as you possibly can make it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You get that fresh rubber, maybe gain a few positions, maybe gain some time on some of these guys are still out here on these older tires that are on the lead lap.
Yeah, so the key thing will be obviously for him to get one of those laps back right off the bat, but man, I'm watching Adam Gillen right there. He just got really loose off of Forest. They were able just right now to lap, I'm sorry, I lost the name here, Daniel Falkingham. So say that puts him a lap down, which he's done a really good job actually to stay on the lead lap this whole time, even with that damage. But say now you've got, Coleman here just got by DeBarro to start working, try to get his laps back. But yeah, right now the groove is really widening out. Everybody's trying to find wherever they can make some grip, pretty much.
Yeah, and right now Fuller, I mean, he's just putting on a clinic right now for this race. He's still leading this race by half a second over Adam Gillen. I've been watching him, like we said, he's still kind of fighting this loose condition coming off the corners here. We've talked about it before in other races. You got to just act like you got an egg under that throttle, and you just got to be ever so gently coming off these corners because you put too much power down, and the rear of these cars can come around real quick and make for a bad day. We see some more guys coming down pit road right now.
Yeah, so they got a couple
Adam Gillen
here.
Tommy Ryan coming down pit road. Adam Gillen.
Yeah, so here
Mitch
comes some of
Rollo.
the leaders as well. Yep, Tommy Ryan, Mitch Rollo, Steve Gottschalk, Scott Simley, and I saw one more in there. I think that was Jose Gonzalez. So yeah, the green flag pit stops are starting. Oh, here comes Fuller entering as well. He's coming really hot. So he's able to get it low down though. Man, that was close.
Really close to those barriers at the end of pit road. That would have been definitely a bad thing to hit.
Yeah, so you got David Comstock as well, Chad Cole right behind him, and Nick Silver. So looks like now is time. The pit road has opened up for everybody. They're going to try to take advantage of it. You got Anthony DeBarro currently stayed out. He is leading at the moment, but I'm sure he won't be too far away as well. But you might see some of these guys try to stretch it as far as they can, pin some of these guys a lap down. Say right behind DeBarro, though, you've got Bobby Wetzel on new tires, so he's going to try to get one of those laps back as well. I've done this before, too, where you just, you know what, I'm just going to run it empty. If a caution comes out, it's going to make life really nice for me because most of my competitors are going to be trapped at least 1 lap down.
I mean, how many times have we been, well, both of us have been in a race, been on TeamSpeak talking about this exact strategy that we're like, we don't want to push the issue. Knowing our luck, we'll go down pit road and a caution will come out and we'll get stuck on pit road under yellow, and I mean, most of the time, what do? We play it safe and we just run it dry. We run it as far as we possibly can. If we get a caution, then it falls our way. If we don't, well, hey, at least we know we can make it to the end.
Yeah, it's a risk versus reward type situation. So you've got Ben Kilcrease here sneaking by DeBarro there, getting one of his laps back. I was saying, yeah, some more of those guys are coming in. You got Nick Timms, Doug Roth, Chris Jabot. So I say you've got a lot of guys. Let's say everybody's kind of staggering out how they're doing it, but it looks like we've still got the top 6 have not pitted yet. I believe some of them are actually coming in now with Mike Kelly and Shane Ewing, but let's take a look here. Say, I think we're trying to let everything cycle, and then we're going to take a break.
Oh, it looks like DeBarro's coming.
Say, here comes DeBarro. Say, I want to make sure we don't miss any of your guys' pit stops. Eric Arnold's staying out, though, so he'll take the lead this time by. See, we've all right. I say what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this thing cycle a little bit. I say we've got pretty much everybody but the top 3 actually I should say that have pitted. We're going to take a quick break, let everything cycle. You won't miss anything, so we'll go side by side here. And then, yeah, we'll catch you back up here in just a moment.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the Transervice Cup Series. Unfortunately, as you saw in corner to corner there, Eric Arnold was leading at the time, running some pit strategy. Unfortunately, we talked about this place being a monster, and the monster bit him, unfortunately. Caught the tire bearers entering the pits. Just a case of old tires and a slick track, and yeah, that was not what he wanted to see. He had a good run going there, and I think that's probably going to end his night.
Well, Guy, you were talking about it earlier about how tricky it is to get on this pit road, and right there, that was a perfect example of it. I mean, even with fresh tires, it's really hard to get on this pit road. Eric Arnold had those old tires and just put the car right into the end of that those barriers, those safety barriers at the end of pit road wall. And right now, I'm looking at Justin Fuller right now. He is having one heck of a battle with some of these guys that he's racing for position and guys that are laps down and everything else. This is an incredible battle right now. He's stuck behind the number 4 of who is the number 4?
Robert Gillenwater.
Thank you. He was stuck. He was kind of stuck behind him for a little bit and couldn't get by him. And it was it was real close racing right there. Who was that underneath the 4 that I'm trying to figure out now? 97. Give me a name.
Lionel Callisto.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to repeat that name because I'll mess it up. But Lionel almost had a moment there. He got a little squirrely racing side by side right there. Those guys are like, all these guys are like, the field is kind of squirrely right now. We got guys that are on fresh tires, old tires, guys that are lap down, guys that are on lead lap, but are all fighting for some real estate here on the track. So it's getting real interesting out here right now.
Yeah, everybody has cycled through, but yeah, everybody's on really different pit strategies at the moment. Right now we just had a change for the lead here. Sean Castle just took the lead here from Trey Edson. They both were some of the earlier pitters. You got Sean Castle pit about 25 laps ago with Trey Edson pitting 28 laps ago. But then you have a lot of the guys behind them are about like in the 10-15 lap range of when they just last came in. So it's going to be really interesting to see how you kind of have those comers and goers at the moment with the new tires. You got Jose Gonzalez trying to get a lap back right here and get back on the lead lap. Same thing, he pitted a while ago, so he was obviously hurting on the longer run, but now he's going to make use of these fresh tires.
Oh yeah, definitely, and you can see these guys right now. They're fighting to stay on this lead lap. You can see Kevin DeBrown right now. He's the first car that is a lap down. He has right now put himself in a lucky dog position by keeping himself in front of the leader right there of Sean Casto. And Sean, he's having a heck of a time right now. I mean, he's got to make his way through these cars, and some of these cars are faster than him, so he's got to be able to look in that rearview mirror and put his car in the right position. Because when you're on older tires, it is kind of hard to put your car sometimes maneuver it on the track where you want it. And some of these guys that maybe on newer tires, they're a little bit faster. They can put their car in a better position. So sometimes it's better for you just to hold your line and let them get around you.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you kind of keep consistent with what you're doing and say that's kind of what they ask you to do. And this is hard because right now it's like, yeah, okay, you've got some of these guys might be a lap down, but again, they may have 10, 15 lap fresher tires. And I'm looking at the lap times, and you've got third place is Adam Gilland, who's got about 10 lap fresher tires, and he's running about 3/4 of a second faster than these guys. And based on when those other lead lap cars pitted, he's actually in the best position of all because he was able to gap Justin Fuller after the pit stop sequence.
Yeah, it's right with a track this small like this, a mile long here at Dover, Delaware. That it's hard to maneuver through the traffic sometimes. It's not like we're at a mile-and-a-half track or larger. It's not like we're at Vegas or California Speedway or anything like that. It's a little bit harder to maneuver your cars around here to be able to get through the traffic. As opposed to here at the high banks of Dover, Delaware. I'm watching right now, Justin Fuller, he is basically maneuvering his way around Bobby Wetzel right now, and Wetzel right now, and he's, it's a matter of trying to hold off the guys behind you and being able to get through the traffic, and I'm watching him fight his car right now as he looked like he was battling coming off the corner right there. As these cars are really, really having a hard time kind of finding the traction on the track, as the track temperature is raised up to 123 degrees, so it's getting really slick out there right now.
Yeah, so back up front here, Adam Gilland, like we talked about the fresh tires, he just took the lead back there from Sean Casto. Right behind them is Nigel Standish. He's trying really hard to get his lap back there, but Adam was able to kind of sneak around him. Almost used Sean as a pig there, really. So you're going to see him try to keep up with Adam Gilland, obviously, to stay that first car one lap down as Adam starts keeping him, putting him down. But again, though, him and Fuller pitted relatively in the same time frame, but he's got about a 2-second lead, I believe it is, on Justin Fuller. So just pitting that one lap sooner for Adam Gilland has really paid dividends there on the track position.
And it seemed like Adam was able to get through traffic a little bit easier than Justin was too. It just seemed like Justin got kind of caught up behind a few guys here and there. I was kind of watching him as we were talking about some of the other battles that were going on. I was kind of watching him battle through traffic, and it just seemed like there was a few cars that kind of held him up. So I think that kind of screwed him up for getting through the field and trying to get past some of these cars. But Adam's definitely showing his strength right now as he's leading this race.
Yeah, so he hasn't been running all the races, but when he's been showing up, though, he's definitely put on a clinic. He's had 6 starts here. He's had, out of those 6 starts, he's had 3 wins and 6 top 5. So every time he's raced, he's had a top 5 at least, and half of those times he's won. So it's no surprise to see him up front here. He's definitely been putting on a show every time he's been running this Transervice Cup Series.
Yeah, it's a pretty good record to have right there. Every start in the top 5, and half of those are wins. Yeah, I would say that he's a pretty good gamble.
Yeah, say if they were doing fantasy picks, he'd definitely be one to grab there. Say keeping an eye as well behind Sean Casso. There's a good battle here going on. Say Justin Fuller is working to the outside right now of Trey Edson. Got that position now. And so next up on his list, he's going to be going after Sean Casso for that second position. Try to chase back down Adam Gilland.
Yeah, that's a great battle right here. You're right about that. It looks like behind Justin Fuller, is that Tommy Ryan behind him battling with those guys?
Yeah, Tommy Ryan's right behind
them.
So he's a few cars back, but he's running in the 5th position, though. So I say he'll be the next one to try to catch Trey. Same thing, he's got about 13 lap fresher tires than Trey, so that's going to make a big difference. I say they started spacing out a little bit, though. I say behind him, we got Mitch Rollo. He's got a bit of a gap to David Comstock, followed by Chad Cole. So yeah, that's really spread out the top 10 in this race, though, just with the sequence of pit stops.
Yeah, it really has spread out the field. I mean, we've gone. What lap was our first caution? I think it was on lap 1, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then we went back to green. And then we went back to green. I think at lap 4. So we've been pretty much 50 laps of green flag racing, and we had green flag pit stops here. So these guys are doing really good tonight as far as the consistency in the racing.
Yeah. Yeah, it says on lap 93 right now, so say just a few laps away, and we'll be halfway here. I'm saying these guys are making really good run of it, I say, but yeah, Adam Gilland right now has got just about a 3-second lead on Justin Fuller, and both of them right now are in clean air. So they'll be curious to see kind of what their lap times are looking like. Last time by, Fuller was just about, I don't know, a couple hundredths of a second quicker. However, this last time by Adam Gillen was actually quicker by about half a tenth. So, yeah, Adam's putting down some laps right now.
Well, Gillen's got clean air in front of him too. He doesn't have. It's going to be a little bit before he catches any lap cars. But he's got a few. He got a few about half a corner in front of him, so that's going to help him out there. He's going to be able to get some clean laps here to be able to get some good lap times and get some time between him and Fuller here. But as we've seen, Fuller, he's been pretty fast before these pit stops. He was definitely the pace in the field here and showing everybody how fast he can definitely be.
Yeah, so I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Let's say looking at the 6th, 7th, and 8th place battle, you've got Mitch Rollo, David Comstock, and Chad Cole all right together here for those positions. I was saying same thing. They're running all different lines right now, trying to get that momentum. Same thing. They're kind of in a little bit of a clear traffic area right now. But yeah, just trying to kind of get that position on each other and then figure out when they're gonna where they can make the move on each other pretty much. Say as we approach the halfway mark here, we still have 37 starters. We have, let's see, 35 are still in the race. Brian Boris Cook unfortunately has left, as well as Eric Arnold after his pit incident. And yeah, as you look though, Mitch Rollo is coming right up on Trey Edson.
Oh, look at Comstock diving down there.
Yeah, say Mitch Rollo chose the wrong line. Say now, they're close.
Couldn't hold that momentum though. You see that that high line even. And look, they're almost going to go 3 wide here. Mitch is going to look on the inside. Comstock passes them both, though. He's going to kind of pull a slide job right in front of Mitch Rollo. Can't go all the way up, but he is going to be able to get in front of Rollo there. And Rollo's probably going to be able to push him down into that next corner. You can see Comstock just driving the wheels off that car right now.
Yeah, he took advantage of that situation. Yeah, Mitch Rollo kind of went to the top thinking Trey would probably run the bottom, but didn't work out. Saying now he got Chad Cole looking at getting by Mitch Rollo as well here. So he's going to try to get that power down on the eggs, and he's able to. So give that spot to Chad Cole as well. Move them up a few spots here. So that puts David Comstock up to 5th and Chad Cole up to 6th. Saying Trey Edson with the older tires, he's fallen back to 8th at this point. But again, everybody still got one more stop to make, and so as you saw though, he had a lot of a lead there with that short pit strategy. So it could still work out for him. It's really hard to say at this point.
It really is, and that move by Comstock, I mean, we saw earlier, he just drove it right down into there. He wasn't afraid to put that car right down on the bottom. He made it stick. He did that, pulled that little slide job up into the second lane, and took advantage of getting 2 positions right there for the price of 1.
Yeah, it was a really good move, Sam. Keeping an eye up front still again, really nice lead right now for Adam Gillen's got over a 3-second lead over Fuller. He's got clean air, whereas Fuller's actually got 2 cars battling for position right now with actually battling for the lucky dog position with Lionel Callisto and Nigel Standish, with Lionel getting the position right now, with Lionel getting in position right now, but Nigel's not wanting to give it up. He's staying right on his back bumper.
Yeah, those guys are definitely fighting for that lucky dog. I mean, that's important, These guys, like you said, oh, wow, right there. Right in front of the leader, looked like Lionel is kind of smacked the wall a little bit. And these guys are really battling it out for this lucky dog position right in front of the leader here. So the leader's got to negotiate his way through these cars. And these guys, they are, they are slower. They're maybe not as fast as the leader here, but they got every right to race for this lucky dog position. They don't, they have to give room to that leader, but, they're still racing for positions on this track too. So and that lucky dog is a very important position to be racing for sometimes.
Yeah, especially with everything, the way it's been shaken out. Saying we just talked about Trey Edson. He just made his 2nd pit stop. I actually forgot that he's going on the 3-stop strategy, I believe. So he pitted at right around lap 50, now at lap 100. So say you'll see him again with his fresh tires. He's going to make a big run on these guys with the older tires.
Yeah, he did just come out of pit road. You're right. It's going to right now it's showing him 2 laps down, but he's going to unlap himself pretty quick, I would imagine so. And then, like you said, he's on that 3-stop strategy. So we'll have to see how that works out for him.
Yeah, so he's same thing. He's going to kind of pass these guys, put pretty much half a straightaway on right off the bat. He's just got to be careful to make sure that he doesn't go where they are. Say he's cleared the Lionel Callisto. Now he's got clear track up to Adam Gillen. So I'd say probably about 2 or 3 laps, you'll see how much of a difference that those tires make.
Yeah, we saw before it was about a 2-second difference on the track between the old tires and the new tires. As we see Adam Gillen right now looking to put Jose Gonzalez in the 26 car lap down as he does right there. Looks like Jose Gonzalez is going to be the first car lap down now. Going to be the lucky dog right there.
Yeah, saying that's. I was saying, I mean, obviously you don't want to get lapped, but he's got a nice gap behind him. But yeah, here comes that closing rate of Trey Edson flying past everybody. He's got to be careful not to run to the back of Adam Gilliland.
Right, yeah.
Gets under him off of 2, and I say he's going to clear him off of 3, and then just set sail and see how his tire strategy works out here.
You totally pulled a Linda Ronstadt on him right there and blew by you.
I love it. So let's say, so looking here, top 3, we've got Adam Gilliland, Justin Fuller, Tommy Ryan is in 3rd, Sean Casto is 4th, and Chad Cole is rounding out the top 5. Let's say while we're talking about all of that, Chad was able to get around David Comstock, and actually, I think we should take a look here with Chad Cole. He's actually going after Sean Casto right now.
Wow, they got a good battle going on right here.
Quite a battle right here. Yeah,
yeah, it is.
As soon as I looked at that, I was like, yeah, we need to take a look at this one. And then right behind them, involved in this is Jason Barham. He just pitted for new tires as well, so he's a few laps down, but at the same time, though, he's got these new tires. He's got to make use of them.
Oh,
right
look
now.
at Comstock push up the track right there. I thought we were going to have an incident right there. He comes right back down in front of Mitcharello, but Comstock almost pushed into the number 52 of Shane Casto right there. That was going to be a little ugly right there.
So as I looking at the Dash for Cash, sponsored by English Auto right now, the standings, not the standings, but let's say the current positions. Obviously, you have Justin Fuller running in 2nd place. He's the highest running of those guys, followed by Chad Cole in 4th place, David Comstock in 5th. Go back a little further down the field here. You've got Nick Silver in 9th, and Mike Kelly is in 10th. As we mentioned, some of the other guys that are in it had a little bit of trouble. Let me take a look for them where they are running right now. You've got Daniel Falkingham in 26th position. Trey Edson, obviously on his different pit strategy. Currently he's showing 29th. Obviously that's going to change as the pit cycles through. And then the last one in that group is Nelson Rivera, who was one that got loose on the initial start. He is running 34th, unfortunately, 15 down.
And we see these guys right now, Adam Gilliland still leading this race. Remind you, you can watch you can see the Sim Racing Network. We have our Triple Threat broadcast. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitch. Just search for the Sim Racing Network, and you can find us all right there. Like us, subscribe, give us a comment, let us know you're watching out there. We always like to interact with our fans. Right now, we're going to bringing you the Sim500 race Transervice Cup Series from Dover, Delaware. We're just over halfway. Still got Adam Gilliland lead this race right now. Justin Fuller is an early leader early on in this race before we had our first round of pit stops. Still in 2nd place, chasing down Adam Gilliland right now. We've been green flag racing since pretty much the get-go. We had an early caution on our first restart, or our first start of the race actually. And we've been green flag racing ever since. We've seen some green flag pit stops. About 110 laps of green flag racing now. These guys are putting on one heck of a show for us here at Sim500. And you can check them out at sim500.com. You can see all the different racing series they got going on. They're racing pretty much every night of the week. Registrations are open every now and then, and you guys can get in on the action here at Sim500 and join these guys racing here at the high banks of Dover, Delaware.
Yeah, saying like you said, we're at lap 116 now, so in theory we should be about 5 or so laps away from the pit window, which may have actually just opened. So I see Sean Casto just entered the pits from the 8th position, so I think he's going to duck in here, one of the first takers of the 2-stop strategy. So we'll see how it all shakes out as everybody else makes their pit stops again. He pitted about 10 laps earlier than most of the lead lappers. So we'll see if that kind of follows suit with Adam Gilliland and company pitting in about, let's say, 10 laps around that lap 125 mark or so. But yeah, so Adam Gilliland still got about a 3-second lead over Justin Fuller. Tommy Ryan's about 2 seconds or so behind Justin Fuller, and Chad Cole's made his way up to the 4th place with David Comstock up to 5th, as Don was mentioning earlier. So it's really spread out right now. So we'll see if the tire and pit strategy, if they're able to make something happen here. As we see, Sean Casto's just coming out of the pits right now, coming out, and so he's going to try to get going real quick, get those laps back, and then yeah, he's got to hope it stays green here though.
Yeah, he does. That's the only thing about this strategy that he's chosen to take tonight is he does have to bank on staying in green. And right now, I mean, we have had a lot of green flag racing, so I mean, it's a kind of a good wager to make. And you can see right now he's chomping at the bit. He's got those brand new tires. He's like, "Come on, Comstock, get out of the way. I know I'm a lap down, but I got these brand new tires. I'm making my way through here." But yeah, he definitely needs to hope that it stays green here. He should be good to go till the end. Shouldn't have to make any more pit stops. Like we said, that is if it stays green till the end. And I don't know. We're going to have to see how these pit strategies shake out here as Justin Fuller, our early race leader, he's still about 3 seconds behind our leader, Adam Gillen, who should have to be making a pit stop, as Gael mentioned here, probably in the next, 3 to 4 laps?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty soon. I think it'll be once you see some of those top 5 come in. I think that's when everybody's going to kind of blink. It's just who's going to be the first to take the risk. Everybody's a little bit, I think, a little hesitant to be the first one to do it. I think
you're right.
Sean
Yeah.
Casto is probably just a little bit too far back for leaders to worry about. I say Jose Gonzalez is coming in, but again, he was a lap down already, unfortunately. However, I think it's just going to be who blinks first, and from there, it's going to almost be like that cup race today. If you guys were watching there, once the front guys started pitting, they all dove in within that next lap or two.
Well, they're kind of setting the pace. I mean, it makes sense. They're setting the pace for the race. They might as well set the pace for pit stops too. You know, that's kind of what everybody's going to do. You know, it's important. You don't want to pit too early, and you don't want to pit too late. You know, it's kind of a chess match there. And right now, Adam Gillen seems to be doing really well with that chess match. We expect him to see him coming down pit road any minute now, any lap now, really.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to see if he tries to split it in half for now. Like I said, we've still got about, 77 laps to go. He pitted about 58 laps to go, so it could be maybe about 5-10 more laps if he wants to split it right in the middle. As you see, here comes Sean Castro, just blows by him with those fresh tires, gets one of those laps back. I say now at this point, he just wants this to cycle through. And I mean, he might want to have happen is make everybody else pit, let's say run 5-10 laps and then have a caution come out. That way he can pit as the leader. Exactly. And all those other guys. Those tires make such an importance here. So it's just, it's one of those things. You never know how it's going to shake out. Sometimes short pitting works. Sometimes it bites you, but it's always worth the risk. And that's why there's the people watching this race, and that's why people go watch the races on TV and go to the track.
That's right. I mean, and you know, all this strategy that these guys are putting out here tonight with two stop strategies, 3 stop strategies, saving tires, running the different lines and everything. One caution can totally change everything. So, you know, what Sean is trying to do right now with his 2 stop strategy is 1 lap down, but he's working his way past all these cars, trying to get back up there and contend for the lead. You know, if he gets a caution, if the caution comes out, that's going to change everything for him. He's not he's not the lucky dog right now, so he wouldn't get his lap back. The only way to get a lap back is if he did a wave around, and you know, it just matters right now is if the yellow comes out. And so far, you know, we've had some great green flag racing. So as it looks right now, these guys should be okay.
Though.
Yeah,
so step over. Justin Fuller say one of the first ones to come in. So
that's true.
I think this is where you're going to start seeing everybody react to Fuller, because again, he was in the second position. So now it's going to be to see if they react to him or if they think they can do something a little bit different. Because again, they can probably go a little bit more on fuel. But as I say that, Adam Gillen, he follows suit. He's jumping into the pits right now as well.
And you're going to see everybody coming now, just like you were saying. You're going to see Simon Says once Justin came down pit road, everybody's going to be coming down pit road.
So trying to keep an eye on who's leading at the moment. So it looks like Tommy Ryan at the moment's up front. Chad Cole right behind him, and then David Comstock as well. So they're going a little further here. Maybe they may be banking on a yellow. It's hard to say.
Tommy Ryan coming down
pits right now. So that'll put Chad Cole up into the lead. So we'll have to keep an eye and see how well these guys get in and out of their pit stalls, and then that's the same thing. They're going to have to hope there's no yellow, because now even as the leader, you're still knocked down a lap, though, just with the way how slow these pits are and how long they are.
Oh yeah, it seems like forever trying to get on and off pit road, and it looks like Justin Fuller got off pit road just fine. He's back on track, going, you know, just passing cars like he does. So we're hearing from our producer Aaron that Gillen slid through his box a little bit, so that definitely hurt him on pit road. And Fuller almost slid through his box. So, like with a race like this where we've gone green flag racing for such a long time, any small mistakes on pit road can translate to huge mistakes on the track when these guys are up to speed like this.
Yeah, but I say Fuller did like mentioned though, he did a really good job getting in and out. He was a little close to entering the pit stall, but I mean, if you look right now, I'm taking a look at Adam Gilland and Justin Fuller. It was about a 3-second lead. I'd say at this point, it's probably about at most a second between those two. So he did a really good job maximizing his entry and exit. And again, they were only a lap apart on their pit stop, so tires will be relatively the same. But look at Adam Gillen right now. He's just working his way through the field as he got Justin Fuller goes 3 wide between a couple of cars. Again, they're trying to not give up any momentum because right now is when they got to make use of these tires.
Oh, yeah. Right now, they got to make use of the speed, make use of these tires, negotiate the slower traffic as best they can, and just try to do everything they can to optimize the use of these fresh tires and just try to get the best laps they can right now. It's the most important thing that they can possibly do right now. And you see Chad Cole still leading this race up front. We expect him to make a pit stop here soon, along with Dave Comstock, Mitch Rollo, and some of these other front runners who have yet to pit. And if we get a caution, that'll change everything, as right now there's only 12 cars in the lead lap.
Yeah, and again, this is actually a good chance of where it could happen. I took a look there with Justin Fuller really close there between him and the number 8 of Randy Yoakum. Luckily, he was able to clear him, though. But I'm saying that's where some of these guys, you know what, we're going to stretch it because there could be a timely yellow here for us. So, yeah, they just got to be real careful. And that's where also these
Chad Cole coming down pit road right now. Oh, and he locked him up a little bit. Oh, tapped the wall just a little bit. Looked like he got into the pits just a little hot. He actually locked up his brakes and was like a little sideways getting onto the pit road. And it looked like the right rear of his car tapped the wall just a little bit. But he got onto pit road clean. He's going down pit road right now, looking for his pit stall, waiting for his pit crew
Take
to
a look at the
wave
replay
him
of
on
that
through.
pit entry here. Man, yeah, maybe a little bit too much rear brake there. So we'll have to see if he gets caught by the speeding police on that one. But that was a really good job hanging on to that one. Saying again, they're getting everything they're worth on these pit stops.
Chad Cole off pit road right now. His crew drops the jack on that car, and he's going down pit road right now. We see Mitch Rollo following him right behind, and those guys now have 4 fresh tires and fuel, and they're going to be able to make it to the end. So we'll have to see how this all works out here when these guys cycle through for these pit stops.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look here. It looks like, again, Trey Edson is leading at this point. So he's on that 3-stop strategy, though, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for him. So you're trying to see right now what kind of gap he's got on the guys behind him. Anthony DeBarro just came into the pits. It looks
Anthony
like
DeBarro's just now exiting the pits.
I think he may have about a 9 or 10 second lead on Gilliland and Fuller. I'm trying to verify this. So saying at this point, though, this is where Trey is probably banking on having a nice timely yellow, maybe right before he gets passed by those 2 guys. Because again, these are brand new tires versus he's got about 40 laps on his, and they're running about a full second a lap faster than him. So he's.
And we still have a lot of racing left to go for these guys. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes, especially if we stay green.
Yeah, saying looking at in that second and third position here, it looks like. Say they're going after it. You've got, say, try and take a look here where Fuller and, yeah, you got Adam Gilliland is still running in second position, and then Justin Fuller looks like he's got caught up a little bit in the traffic here, unfortunately.
Yeah, he just had to kind of battle his way through there right now. We're only showing 5 cars on the lead lap right now. Trey Edson, Adam Gilliland, Justin Fuller, Sean Casto, Tommy Ryan. Top 5 guys are the only cars in the lead lap currently, with Chad Cole being the first car as the lap down, and that would be our lucky dog.
Yeah, Chad
Cole just got his lap back.
Yeah, so that's that tire difference. I say the next one up, it looks like will be Mitch Rello, and he's the next one to try to get his lap back. I was saying again, they're running, let's see, 20, yeah, in the 23s, mid-low 23s, whereas Trey Edson's in the mid-24s. So, yeah, that's the difference these tires make, and that's where you have to be careful again with that, just that closing rate.
Yeah, I was just watching Chad Cole, the closing rate. He almost got into the back of the 21 there for a minute. I mean, we've said it before. The difference in new tires and old tires is 2 seconds or more easy on some of these cars here. So the closing rate can be substantial as far as trying to negotiate through traffic here, especially if somebody doesn't see you coming up behind you.
Say one thing to note was I know Sean Castle, he pitted about 10 laps earlier, just like last time, than Adam Gillens and Justin Fuller. However, last time he was able to actually leapfrog those guys and be in the lead, but this time I'm not sure if they had a quicker pace or if it's possible that Castle just lost a little bit of momentum when he kind of fell through that pack there. But he's running in the 4th position at the moment. Obviously, he'll cycle 3rd once Trey pits. But so he's going to have his hands full with Tommy Ryan, who pitted about 10, 13 laps later than him. And then there's a pretty big gap to Chad Cole as well. So I say right now, if everything stays as it is, I'm going to say top 3 is going to look like probably be Gilliland, Fuller, and Tommy Ryan is what I'm seeing at the moment.
Yeah, and that should how it be should cycle around. That's the way it should look. I mean, we're slowly getting more cars in the lead lap as we see these guys slowly starting to unlap themselves. Right now we're showing 10 cars in the lead lap. I mean, a lot of these guys definitely would not want to see a caution because, there'd only be 10 or 11 cars. Now 11 cars, Nick Silver being the 11th place car and Chad Coleman being our first car that's going to be a lucky dog. And, I think you're right about that, Gael. The way these guys are going to cycle around as far as the top 3 goes, Trey Etzen, Adam Gillen, and Justin Fuller, they're just, right now, all 3 of those guys are just really putting on a clinic on this field.
Yeah, so I was watching right there, Chad Coleman getting his lap back. He and Bobby Wetzel had a really close call there off of 2. And say just same thing, just the closing rate's not what you would expect, and Bobby Wetzel's kind of planning on taking turn 1 and 2 like normal, and it's like, oh, excuse me, I didn't see you there. He's able to move up the track a little bit. And if you look behind Trey Edson right there, here comes Adam Gillens with a huge head of steam, almost a full second faster that last time by. Earlier, Justin Fuller was right on the back bumper, but he was able to get a big gap again through lap traffic. It's got at least a 2-second lead on Fuller, so Fuller's going to have his work cut out for him to try to chase that 81 back down again.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to be a matter of time before Gillen catches Edson here. He's
done
catching up to him. Yeah, right there. I mean, he's already got him, so it's just a matter of time when you were talking about those new tires versus old tires. And I think it's just right now. I think it's just a matter of how many spots he's going to be losing right now since he did that 3-stop strategy. So, and he's got a little older tires than these other guys.
Yeah, if his numbers are kind of staying the way he was, I'm pretty sure he's going to pit either this next time by or in one more after that, somewhere around that lap 150 mark. We're at lap 149 right now, so just about 3/4 distance. Adam Gillens, like we said, he's been put on a clinic, although you've got Jimmy North right behind him trying to get one of those laps back, because I believe he's on pretty fresh tires. Yeah, he's only on 7-lap old tires versus 22 for Adam Gillen, and that just shows you, even with that roughed up car for the 48, unfortunately having some damage from that lap 1 wreck, just even with the damage, those tires make up a lot of difference right there in speed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just it's a matter of basically being able to put the power down coming out of those corners and not. I mean, you'll see that the closing rate is mostly when these guys are coming out of the corners, is because they're able to put that power down coming out of the corners on these fresh tires, and they're able to carry that momentum to these straightaways. So the closing rate is just it's huge compared to from old tires to new tires right now.
Yeah, so taking a look back here at Trey Edson, he's got Justin Fuller right behind him. And so he's taking a look here off of the bottom of 2, trying to get that run. So he can't quite get to him. I'm pretty sure he's going to keep that bottom entering 3, and there he goes. Shouldn't have no problem clearing him there off of 4, and sure enough he does. And so that'll put him up into the 2nd spot. Unfortunately, about 2.5 to 3 seconds, it looks like. Yeah, 2.5 seconds off of Adam Gillen for the lead. So he's got his work cut out for him still, but so he's not one to not give it all he's got, though. So
still got 48 laps to try to get it done, so he's got a lot of time. But like you said, I mean, the tires are what matters the most.
Yeah, so now it's going to be see when Trey's going to kind of decide all right, now it's time I got to make my pit stop. He's got about, I'd say, 6 seconds or so until Tommy Ryan gets to him. But again, I think he's got his own strategy here. He may try to stretch this one as far as he can just to bank on that last yellow to help his cause instead of short pitting. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge for him. I'll say that. Looks like one car in between Fuller and Adam Gilliland is the number 4 of Bob Gillenwater. So he started, let's see, where did he start? He started 35th, and he's up to the 23rd position. He is 2 laps down at the moment. However, he's still hanging on as best as he can, doing a pretty good job there from a far back starting position.
Yeah, he's pretty far back in the field. Worked his way up. Good to have a solid finish throughout the day if he keeps it up right now, and just trying to pace himself, trying to stay on the lead lap, or trying to stay as many laps not down as possible. And right now I just don't see Fuller gaining on Gilliland much at all. I mean, he doesn't look like he's gaining on him at all. I don't see him catching him anytime soon.
No, I think Fuller's going to need a yellow. Unfortunately, I say that last time by, Gilliland was about half a tenth of a second quicker. So I am looking at the lap times, and last time by, I believe the quickest car on the track of at least the top 5 was Chad Cole, about 3 tenths faster than everybody around him. 2 tenths that last time by here. So he's working on trying to chase down. Yeah, so he's way off the lead. However, I think he's still got a podium in his future if he can get by Tommy Ryan and then once Trey Edson pits here. So Chad,
I'm watching Gilliland right now just chase that car. I was watching Gilliland. Sorry to interrupt you, but he came off the corner and he was really, really babying that throttle, trying not to wreck there. I mean, it was really close. He was really like the whole straightaway. He was trying to gather that car up.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, I mean, we're only 30 laps on these tires right now, but again, he is over almost 2 seconds slower than what his fastest lap was. His fastest lap was a 22.955. That last time by, he ran a 24.7. So just shows you with even just 30 laps in these tires, these things have dropped off nearly 2 seconds, which, I mean, and it's not just that slow, it gets really squirrely on the throttle. You got to really be patient with that throttle.
Well, the track is, I've been watching the track temperature as the race has gone on, and about 50 laps ago, the track temperature was down to 113. Now we're back up to 120 again. So, I think that track temperature, this dynamic weather, and is really having an effect on these cars. With every now and then we'll see the track, we'll see shade on the track, and we'll see it cool down a little bit. And these guys will have some traction, but when it heats back up again like it is right now, you'll see these guys really fighting for traction.
Yeah, so they definitely saw that yesterday in the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Xfinity Series. The temperature swung from about this 120 degrees where it got really cloudy and overcast, where it dropped all the way down to about 90 degrees on the track. And it made a big difference the way these cars were driving. And saying, we were talking about Chad Cole and Tommy Ryan earlier. Chad's able to right there to get by Tommy Ryan.
We got a car in the wall. The next quick car, I'm trying to see what number that is.
That's
Ben
Kilcrease.
Yeah,
zero.
He saved it though. He was completely sideways. We'll get a replay for you guys right there. You see right here, he was completely sideways and saved that car and gathered it back up, and that was a really heck of a drive for Ben Kilcrease there.
Yeah, it looks like he just got on that throttle a little bit too soon. Actually, you know what I think was a lot of net code. Yeah, it looked like the 30. It thought that the 39 of Daniel Falkingham hit him, but he was a mile away from him. So that's just some unfortunate net code there for the 00. Really good job hanging on to us. And as that was all happening, Trey Edson did actually hit the pits right there. So he is now, I believe, going to be down 2 laps most likely. We'll see where he cycles out. That puts Chad Cole up into the 3rd position. However, he's about 10 seconds off the lead. He is running about 3 tenths of a second faster than the leaders are. So with 40 laps to go, there's a chance he could maybe get to Fuller, but at this point, I'll say something major is going to happen for anybody to challenge Adam Gilliland.
Yeah, it looks like Trey's off pit road clean. Got those fresh tires coming up through the gears. We'll see where he cycles out, and we'll see how many laps down he's going to be. He's already showing 2 laps down, but I'm sure he'll get one of those laps down. He'll get one of those laps back rather quickly. But as you said, we're just going to have to see if he's going to have enough time to be able to make it back up front with those new tires. He's currently sitting in 23rd place, 2 laps down.
Yeah, he's driving by these guys like they're just on pace lap, really. So he passed about 4 cars there in half a lap there, and say he's working on Scott Simley, working on Nelson Rivera, goes 3 wide there in 1 and 2. I say now he's got
a man on a
track
mission
up to Adam Gilliland, yeah, and so I'll say, so I think same thing. You'll see him about a lap and a half, 2 laps. You'll probably see him right there. Say his lap there was a 23.4 versus a 24.9 by Adam Gillen. So second and a half faster, even in traffic. So I mean, that just tells you how fast these tires are worth. Again, we said it's about 2 seconds a lap at this point. So he's going to make the most of them. And here he comes. He's going to get him probably right off of 4 here. Adam Gillen's going to give him some space. Tread's going to say thank you very much, and we'll see if I can find you again in about 35 laps or so. But I think at this point, that's going to be a hard press for him to do. However, I think he can easily get himself back up towards the top 10, 15 with those new tires.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him. I mean, like you said, he's right now still has a lap to catch back up to these leaders. He's just got himself unlapped once. And he's on these new tires, but we're clicking down toward the end rather quickly. I mean, it's been very impressive here at Sim500 Transervice Cup Series. These guys have only had 1 yellow on the day, and that was on the very first restart of the race. We had a little bit of tire spin. Ever since then, we've had a few little incidents here and there, little Kai's getting a little loose here and there, but nothing spectacular, nothing to bring out a yellow. These guys have been having some great racing going on here tonight at Dover, Delaware.
Yeah, saying as you were commenting on that, I was taking a look at Justin Fuller, see how he was doing it. Yeah, he's starting to struggle on these tires in that track temp. I think he got really loose off of turn 2. That not this last time by, but two laps ago. Had to really chase it down the backstretch. I'll say, and again, so he ran a mid to upper, or I think about a mid 25 second, whereas Chad was running again about the mid high 24s. So he's gonna have to start looking in that mirror a little bit.
Oh, Fuller is so sideways fighting that car. Don't mean to interrupt you there, Gael, but even our producer chimed in there, Aaron. Fuller, yeah, he was all over the place going down that that straightaway, and he's still fighting the car even right now. But he actually made contact with the wall just a little bit, threw a few sparks. But he is basically battling that car for everything it's worth to try to be able to get up to Adam Gillen.
Yeah, saying again, he's got a lot to battle for because again, we've still got 30 laps to go and this also includes the English Auto Dash for Cash. And right now, he is the leading driver on track at the moment of those guys, followed by of course Chad Cole in second place. I'm going to go through the field here and see where the rest of them are. Got Mike Kelly is up to 6th place from his 23rd starting position, so a really good job by Mike Kelly, especially with not having any help of cautions for the track position. You've got David Comstock in 8th, Nick Silver in 9th, and you've got Trey Edson, who is on a different pit strategy. He's at 19th at the moment.
18th now.
Yep, 18th now. I don't think it's going to update fast enough for as fast as that car is compared
yeah,
to the
right.
rest of the field.
Yeah, I was saying.
I think the other ones were some of the cars that got in that early trouble, like Nelson Rivera. Yeah, he's sitting in 33rd at the moment, and then you have Daniel Falkingham in 29th. So this could really shake up those top 4 going into Kansas to see who's going to be those 4 that are going for that Dash for Cash.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with like we were saying, Daniel Falkingham getting caught up in that early wreck and basically just put him toward the back of the field, the whole night. He was definitely a guy that we were going to look for in this race to be a contender to win it, but getting caught up in that early caution threw that to the wind.
Yeah, he's had some bad luck these last couple of races. He had some bad luck last night as well, where he got caught up with the lap car, just wrong place, wrong time, too much of a closing speed pretty early in the race as well. So, man, Fuller is really fighting this car. I'm keeping an eye on him right now. He's still holding on to 2nd place, but he's just maybe over a second, I believe, ahead of Chad Cole at this point. Chad can see him. He's got a couple lappers in between themselves, but I think if he keeps it up, he's definitely going to be getting the 2nd spot here before too long. So you can see him just lurking in the distance there. You can see those bright green numbers again for the Dash for Cash by English Auto. But yeah, man, Fuller's struggling. So he's got to just make sure he can try to keep this thing on the track and get home in one piece because it is getting really loose on him right now.
Yeah, like you said, if Chad Cole can get past these lap cars and get up there to Fuller, he might be able to give him a run for his money because Fuller seems to be having a hard time holding on to this car when these tires get worn here. We've seen it a bunch of times coming off the corner. We see it again right there. It got a little loose coming off the corner. And every time he does that, it's like a catch-22. He's trying to take care of his tires because they're already worn, which is causing him to slide. But the more he moves that wheel trying to save that car off the corner, the more he's wearing his tires out. So it's just making the condition even worse every lap.
Yeah, say once you start burning up those tires like he is on the exits, I mean, it's worse and worse and worse. Those tires get hotter and hotter, and they just do not want to grip. I was saying, you got Steve Gottschalk trying to see if he can sneak by Justin Fuller, and Chad Cole's trying to also get by him. Says, hey, I got a position to make here. So I know you're trying to get your lucky dog spot, but I've got some stuff that I need to deal with myself.
Yeah, right now he doesn't care about that lucky dog. He's like, hey man, I don't care. We need to go. It's go time. We're almost 20 laps to go. Oh, and right there, we almost see them make contact right there. Steve Gottschalk trying to fight for that lucky dog position. And we see that Chad Cole on the outside of him gets a little loose, and they look like they're going to make some contact for a minute there.
Yeah, so now's where that momentum happened. Steve got to the bottom and just couldn't get the power down. Say that puts Chad right all over the back bumper of Justin Fuller. He's going to try to get a good exit here off of 4. Can't quite get it there, but I think you're going to see the same thing. Maybe change lines a little bit, get that nice exit, and try to duck under him. Or you might even see just maybe he can pin Fuller to the bottom because, again, it's hard to get that power down. But Chad Cole's all over the back bumper. He's sneaking a look under in nearing turn 3 here. So he's got pretty much door-to-door right there. Fuller's going to try to hang on to that top side. Chad's going to be careful with the throttle.
Oh,
he gets
got a little loose.
So he's able to still stay door to door with him though, but he's gonna same thing. Fuller's gonna work him hard here because again, there's some money involved in this one. Oh, really close again off of 2, and here comes Trey Edson with his brand new tire, well, relatively brand new tires. So he's gonna say, I know you guys are battling for position, but I've got.
But I want to come through here. Yeah, he's like, I need to come through here. But yeah, right now, Justin Fuller, Chad Cole, we got a battle of the bellies right here for second and third place going on. Fuller definitely doesn't want to give up that spot, and Chad Cole definitely wants that spot. And you can see Fuller, he's fighting that car every lap. I mean, it's just loose as can be. As you see, Chad Cole once again dives to the bottom there, but he can't quite get the momentum to make the pass. And you see he loses the momentum right there because he gets a little loose. And right now, this whole time, Steve Gottschalk is back there going, come on, guys, come on. I'm trying to be patient. What's going on up there?
Yeah, and I mean, actually, yes, Trey Edson, that was for position, so Trey's now up to 13th position, 1 spot away from being in the lucky dog spot, which is Scott Simley at the moment. I'm saying Chad made a really nice move there, is able to get to the outside of Justin Fuller, sneak by him there for the second
That's where
spot.
He needed to do. That's what he needed to do right there, what you were just saying. He needed to get to the outside, carry that momentum, and he was able to do that. Now he's...
Caution
is out on the track.
This will change everything.
This changes everything on the track right now. We're going to try to figure out what happened. We're going to try to see who that was.
I saw some smoke.
Timothy Johnson?
Yeah, I think it was Timothy Johnson as well as Nigel Standish may have been involved here. So the 28, let's take a look here. Yeah, looks like the 28 is one we want to take a look at.
Yeah, right there. Timothy Johnson, definitely. The 28 looks like...
Oh, yeah, he got loose, and so we're going to take a look at the replay. I think it also involved the 48 of Jimmy North.
Oh, actually, I think it kind of originated. It looked like, I'm watching it right now, we're going to get a replay for you, but it looked like the 28 did lose it a little bit, coming off the corner, was gathering up a little bit. He gathered his car up, but then it looked like Jimmy North hit the wall just a little bit and then hooked the 28 of Timothy Johnson, which caused our second caution of the night. And yeah, this is going to change everything. Everything right here. We only have 10 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and I think Scott Simley, we're going to take a look at the replay, see what happened here. But take a look. And so you had the 28 get a little bit loose on the straightaway, which gave Jimmy the momentum there. But unfortunately, what happened, though, was then Jimmy just caught the wall and trying to get that arc entering the turn, and that just kind of bounced him straight into the door of Tim Johnson. And just, that just ruined their nights, unfortunately. But, again, we're going to have a restart with probably about 10 laps to go, say 4 fresh tires. We'll see.
After all this racing, after all this green flag racing, green flag pit stops, all this intense battling, did we ever think that it was going to come down to a basically 10-lap shootout with these guys, with about 13 cars in the lead lap?
I mean, and that's why everybody's fighting so hard for position. Again, I mean, So you got Adam Gilland. Obviously, he had a huge lead entering the pits there. Just had to make sure he didn't need to speed. Chad Cole gets out in second place. Justin Fuller is third. Mitch Rollo is up to fourth position, I believe. So we're going to take a look. There may have been a two-tire strategy, as I do see Sean Casto. I'm not sure if he may have stayed out. Looks like I think he may have gotten the lucky dog. I'm not sure. We're going to take a look here.
I think he got the lucky dog, but I'm not sure. He's coming down back pit road again, though.
Yeah, so he's come. Oh, I think he was tail end of lead lap, possibly.
Yeah, I think he might have missed his pit stall, maybe, or had an issue on pit road.
Yeah, we'll take a look, see how it all cycles out. But yeah, it definitely looks like Adam Gilland will be the leader on this restart, followed by Chad Cole, Justin Fuller in fourth place, I believe. Yep, we have Mitch Rollo restarting fourth. And then you've got Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly in sixth. Anthony DeBarro will be seventh. David Comstock eighth. Nick Silver in ninth. And then it looks like Chad Coleman will be in the 10th position. And then, yeah, so I think Sean Castle is going to be pitting right here. I think he'll restart 11th. He may have missed his pit stall that last time by. So, again, not a lot of lead lap cars, so might as well just come back around next time, get your tires. Probably didn't lose too much. And then see what you can make happen here in this I think it's going to be about a 10-lap shootout.
I mean, yeah, like you said, might as well. I mean, you know, only so many cars in the lead lap. Might as well come down pit road and see what happens there.
And looking here, I think we're going to have some wave arounds, it's looking like. So we've got, I think it may have actually been Chad Coleman possibly who got the lucky dog. I'm not sure. So I see Scott Simley staying on track. So you've got Scott Simley, Chris Jabot, Trey Edson, Doug Roth, Steve Gottschalk, Shane Ewing, Jason Barham, Kevin DeBrown, Joey Jatina, Lionel Callisto, and Jose Gonzalez, Brian Wortman are those in front of the leader. And I believe we just got the one to go, and here goes all those cars trying to get their lap back. Again, their tires are going to be in really bad shape. However,
yeah, they are.
They know that there's only 10 laps to go, so why not?
Yeah, definitely.
So one thing to note, first place, third place, they are teammates, so expect to see good restarts from both of them.
Team
Chad's
orders?
Chad's going to do his best to try to time this restart, but yeah. The top line are teammates as well, so you've got some teammates on both the front row here and the second row. So, but yeah, unfortunately though, with that Adam Gillen being the control car, it's going to be really tough there for Chad Cole to get it going. But we'll see what happens. You never know. We've seen some crazy endings even last night. So, coming off forward, Don, you want to take this one on to the end?
Yeah, I got this. Pace car's pulling off right now. You'll see these guys coming down the front stretch, and they're going already. Alan Gillen leads them off as soon as that pace car comes off. He gets a great restart right there. You can see Chad Cole right there. They're lining up, going down into turn one. They're single file going through turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, so you saw that as soon as the pace car is off the track, which leader has the choice of when he can go. Adam took off immediately. Justin Fuller was definitely ready on that. I'm guessing there was a little bit of a, hey, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So Chad did everything he could, but Fuller's able to get by him. So now Comstock got a little bit loose on the back, and Fuller's looking a little loose as well. Chad is all over his back bumper. So it's going to be tough to pass though. So he's going to have to do everything he can here, be a little bit aggressive.
He's trying right now. He just scraped the wall just a little bit. I think the high line, caution's out.
So we'll have another quick restart here, it looks like. Let's see, was that involving, I believe that may unfortunately involve the 48 of Jimmy North.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And it looks like he might be caught up in that one. So let's take a look at the replay here. And sure enough, it was the 48 Jimmy North. And I have a term I like to say when I'm racing, and it is apron bad. And so unfortunately, he just caught the apron a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2, and yeah, that just sends you around, unfortunately. And yeah, so lucky not to catch the 0-0 of Ben Kilcrease there, but that was a big spin. So those guys that took the wave around, though, that worked out really well for them, because now they can get brand new tires and challenge to see if they can get some positions here as well.
Yeah, they're not going to have many laps to do it, but they definitely have enough to maybe make something happen here. Like you said, it'll put some more cars here in contention to maybe gain some points and gain some positions.
Yeah, so even some of the cars that had just pitted, like Anthony DeBarro was in, Chad Coleman, Sean Castro, all of those guys have pitted. And then, of course, now Trey Edson, Scott Simley, Steve Gottschalk, Shane Ewing, Kevin DeBrown, Lionel Callisto and Jose Gonzalez are going to take advantage of this. That gets them back on the lead lap. And I believe the lucky dog might also be our own Ben Kilcrease in the 00, which will
I
put
do
him on
believe
the
you're
lead
right.
lap.
He should be the lucky dog. He wasn't involved in that incident, so yeah, he should get the waiver on here. Yeah, he was really close, but yeah, it should put him on the lead. It should put him on the lead lap. No, I guess
Well, it looks like it may have been Doug Roth
Doug
in the
Roth
43.
is getting it. Yeah, Doug Roth is going to get the lucky dog. I'm not sure why. Maybe iRacing counted Ben in that incident for some reason, but yeah, it's going to be the 43. Doug Roth is going to be our lucky dog.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look here to see. Might have been another one of those unfortunate netcode type situations.
Sometimes when you slow down too much for yellow, I don't know. iRacing's funny sometimes. It almost counts you as being in it, but
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. No.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't the. I don't know. That was weird.
So I did take a look here after the yellow there. It looked like Jimmy North was not happy apparently with Ben Kilcrease because they decided to visit fenders a little bit after that yellow came out.
Oh,
so
that's why he wouldn't get.
there may be
lucky
some
dog
drama
then.
involved. So something may have happened prior to that got some attention prior to Jimmy North's spin. So I'm going to take a peek and see if I can see anything here.
That would explain why Kilcrease didn't get the lucky dog then. If they made any kind of contact under yellow, then yeah.
Yeah, it looked like there was some hard racing between the two of them, and yeah, just maybe a little bit of contact there. Jimmy did not appreciate it and decided to say, hey, I didn't like that. Saying similar thing happened last night, of course, racing for the win there. Say they saved that one for after the race, however. So yeah, say unfortunately tempers, like we talked about, it's almost like a slightly bigger Bristol, so you will see tempers flare here.
You know, we should have took this time to actually talk to our own Mitch Rollo, but I almost don't want to bother him now since we're probably going to go one more lap until we go green here. So
yeah, so I've never been a big fan of doing those late restarts.
Yeah,
like, hey, so hope nothing bad happens here. But you'll say so. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, you got teammates now in the front row, which puts Chad on the bottom, which is a little easier actually, where you can react to the leader better when you're behind versus in front of or to the side of them. Say we are indeed one to go. I believe we're going to restart with 6 laps to go.
basically gonna have like a 6-lap shootout here. Yeah.
Yeah, so fingers crossed they'll be able to keep it green to the end. They'll say pretty much next caution will likely end it. iRacing does not do overtime, so hopefully these guys will mind their manners as best they can. But yeah, say top 5 right now is Adam Gilland, Justin Fuller, Chad Cole, Mitch Rollo, and Tommy Ryan are the top 5. Again, we got teammates on row 1, teammates on row 2, so I predict you're going to see a pretty good start by the front row here, and then Chad's just going to have to do all he can to react to Adam Gilland and try to get that bottom spot away from Justin Fuller so he can get that second position, see if he can make anything happen against Adam.
Yeah, I'm looking at Mike Kelly there, start 23rd. He's in the 6th position here with 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go. We'll see if maybe he can make a little spoiler here with these top front runners here.
Say pace car is off. Let's see, he's going a little later than he did last time. Last time he jumped really early, so you're coming off of 4.
There he goes.
There he goes. It's saying another really good start by the two of
Check
them.
out the field
Fuller
just a
got
little
bit of tire spin, saying that's going to open up the bottom for Chad Cole. And 3
Three
wide
wide
for second. Say Chad Cole's going to try to keep it in the gas. He's able to clear the 51 of Justin Fuller, who's all over his back bumper. Chad's protecting the bottom.
Blocked him to the bottom there. You see he tried to do a crossover and get to the low side there, and Chad threw that block. As you see Adam Gillen just running away with this lead right now.
Yeah, as now you got Fuller returning the favor, trying to block that inside. This is going to probably end in tears if these guys aren't too careful.
I'm thinking the same.
So taking a look, I say right now you got Adam and Chad have been able to sneak away from the field. But yeah, behind them it's pretty much a hornet's nest with Fuller, Mitch Rollo, and then you've got Tommy Ryan, Mike Kelly side by side right now for the 5th position, I believe it is 4th position.
Like Mitch Rollo's got. I think Mitch Rollo's got.
Oh, we got a big wreck behind him.
Oh, big wreck in the back. And that's going to be the end of the race.
So I have to take a look, see what happened here.
It looked like Trey Edson maybe involved in that. Yeah, Trey Edson car unfortunately destroyed in that wreck.
Let's take a look. We're going to grab this replay and take a look, see what happened here.
Looked like some hard racing there.
Ooh.
He got maybe Anthony DeBarro maybe got into the back of him a little bit. We see Steve Godshot got involved in that wreck.
Yeah, I think what happened is it looks like he did get hooked a little bit by, I think what happened was he got to the back of the 52, lost a lot of momentum there, and then, just got a little bit got hooked, and then, just a bunch of guys piled in there because, again, everybody's going for all their worth there, but unfortunate, not the way they wanted to end it. However, it looks like Adam Gillen's going to be able to hang on here and pick up another win from his partial schedule, continuing his streak of wins in top fives when he shows up. That'll put Chad Cole in second place. Will be the top earning English Auto Dash for Cash finisher in this race, helping his chance for the Final Four at Kansas. Justin Fuller will finish out third. Mitch Rollo in fourth. Mike Kelly able to get into the top 5 there after starting 23rd, so a really good run by him. And then the other Dash for Cash drivers we had mentioned earlier are David Comstock in 7th, Nick Silver in 9th, and then I believe the other drivers unfortunately did not have very good nights. So you've got Trey Edson in 18th after getting caught up in that late wreck. Daniel Fockingham is 29th, and Nelson Rivera is 33rd. So it's going to be an interesting shakeup because you had Trey having a bad night, you had Daniel Fockingham having a really bad night. It's going to be curious to see who actually winds up with those top 4 positions to go for the cash here at Dover. Let's say I don't have the math skills to tell you what those are going to be, so you might have to take a look at the sim500.com website to see who is going to be those top 4 going after it here in Kansas, as the pace car is going to come around here for the 1 to go, and that was going to end it for tonight.
Yeah, Alan Gillen. It's a shame to see, we don't want to see any race finish under yellow, but these guys put on one heck of a show tonight. The Sim500 Transervice Cup Series. These guys, lots of green flag racing tonight. Green flag pit stops, lots of close racing. We saw some aggressive driving tonight here at the Monster Mile, which is basically what you see every time you come here at Dover, Delaware. This track is just a great short track, concrete configuration here, and these guys got to get it done. Adam Gillen bringing home the win, like you said. Chad Cole second, Justin Fuller third. We're going to be talking to those guys here in just a little bit. We'll catch up to them here toward the end as soon as these guys take the checkered flag.
So we'll do is we'll hang out with you guys until we get that checker flag, and then we're going to go corner to corner once we do to be able to get our interviewees ready to go, get some commercials to pay the bills. That way we can keep presenting these streams and broadcasts to you guys. But yeah, so say a really good run for everybody here at Sim500. Like Don said, a lot of green flag racing, a lot of action. And then goes green for that long and you just get a crazy late race restart there, and where everybody's driving for all they're worth. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the show. Hang around, we'll do some interviews for everybody, and then we'll wrap it up here in just a little bit.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series here at Dover International Speedway. So you just saw a really late race craziness there between some of the drivers. Adam Gilliland able to get the win there. Chad Cole finishes second, and Justin Fuller able to get third. And our own Don Runkle is able to catch up with the third place finisher, Justin Fuller.
Yeah, guy, I'm down here on pit road. Justin Fuller's just climbing out of his race car right now. He was our winner last night. Pole sitter tonight. He brings it home in third. I'm sure he would have liked to get the win, but third place is a pretty good finish for him tonight. How do you feel about your run tonight, Justin?
Pretty good. I mean, this aero package it sucks. So, it's spread out. We had a lot of green flag racing. I ended up hitting the wall. It didn't help my case any, but it doesn't matter. If you could restart in first and you get the jump, you're going to win the race because you just can't pass the leader. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, we were noticing kind of like longer in the run a little bit coming off the corners. Looked like you were struggling a little bit, a few times, maybe fighting that car to keep it going straight down those straightaways or whatever. It looked like it was a real battle on older tires with this track heating up the way it was.
Oh, absolutely. That's just Dover. When the car comes out of the corner, it gets real light because you're coming up 20 feet. It just unloads the car. It's almost like going over a jump, and you're gonna have that if you don't use throttle control enough. I did a pretty good job of it all night. I know I got sideways a few times, but we were able to keep it straight. We never spun it out. We did hit the wall one time. We got sideways and put it in the wall, but we were still able to salvage. Just the guys behind me couldn't pass me. So it really didn't matter, I guess, because we just can't pass with this aero package. I really wish we didn't have this aero package. It's not fun.
Those late race cautions there kind of threw a mix into all that green flag racing. How did that affect your race? Did you were those something that you wanted to see? Would you just prefer to see it stay green, or how did that kind of affect your strategy there?
I finished exactly where I think I would have if it stayed green, so I don't think it affected me too much. I definitely didn't want the cautions. I just wanted the race to be over at that point. But that's can't ask for much more. We had 170 some laps of straight of green flag racing, green flag pit stops. You really can't ask for much more than that. So in that aspect, the race was great. It's one of the best races of the season. It does suck that we had those late race cautions. I have to go back and see what happened to cause them, but I'm sure it was something silly.
Yeah, definitely. But third place finish is nothing to be upset about. Do you got any sponsors or anybody that might be watching that you want to mention or give a shout out to tonight, Justin?
I'm definitely not upset with third place finish at all. By the way, I really, obviously I want to win, but we made it to the Dash for Cash for next week at Kansas to win the money, and I'm pretty sure we took over the points lead tonight, and we got the pole. We had a lot of positives tonight, but I want to thank Transervice for sponsoring this series. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do this every week. All the league admins at Sim500, Sim500.com. Put together a great league. Car count show it. The great racing we struggled the first half of the year, but this week has been really good between the trucks, the Xfinity car, and then tonight. We got a week off, I think, for all three series coming up. So we'll look forward to getting back in the car in a couple weeks. I want to thank Sean Yoder for coming on board. He came on board last night. We got him the win. Tonight we came up a little short on the win, but I want to thank him again for stepping up to the plate and sponsoring me in both the Xfinity car and this car with Nemesis Lab. And yeah, we're just thank you guys at the booth for broadcasting, everybody that watched, everybody that raced tonight, and all my teammates. Congrats to Adam on the win, and yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Have some fun at Kansas.
Yeah, appreciate that. Great finish tonight, Justin, and yeah, enjoy your off week there, and get you a little rest out of the race car for a little bit.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
That's Justin Fuller, number 51 car. They brought it home in third place tonight.
Yeah, it's a really good run for Justin. Like you said, won pole last night, won the race last night, got the pole tonight, got third tonight, third tonight. So really good run. Saying he was right. The points have definitely shaken up. We've got Justin Fuller now in the points lead, 19 points ahead of Daniel Falkingham. 23 points behind the lead is Trey Edson. Chad Cole jumps up a spot into the fourth position, 28 behind the lead, and then David Comstock in 29 points behind the lead. So you got the top 5 all within 30 points though, so they're all within striking distance. And so saying one of those guys who had a good points night as well and has had one hell of a run over this past week or so is the number 82 of Chad Cole, and I believe our Don Runkle has caught up with him as well.
Yeah, I'm over here with the big cat next to the snack bar over here. Chad Cole, our second place finisher. 3 wins in a row, and then tonight you get your second place finish. 1 spot short. You've been on fire lately this week, Chad. How do you feel about your finish tonight?
Surviving 2 rounds of green flag pit stops and holding off guys like Fuller and Rollo and Comstock and all those. I'm pretty satisfied, although second sucks. We're gonna have to take this one as it is, you know. I just gotta thank all the guys that share the track with me, because there's a ton of give and take from the lappers tonight that really provided that 170 plus whatever lap green run we had, which I've never seen before. Doing 2 green flag pit stops at Dover like that was some white knuckle driving. I mean, even though this car has a ton of downforce and a little bit lower in horsepower, you still got to drive it. It was getting pretty loose on exit. A couple times I had to go to about to the middle of the track to just save just holding on. Car, as Trey said, he had a good line in the race. The car was driving him. He wasn't driving the car.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun race to watch tonight. Yeah, that long green flag run there, watching you guys have to battle those cars and trying to make those tires last. Those late cautions there, how did that affect your race strategy and the way that you were going to approach the finish of this race?
Based on that lap 1 caution, I knew where I wanted to pit, and I was pretty happy with how everything turned out. I worked my way up to second and got just past Fuller before that caution came out. I don't know. I didn't check my relative to see where Gilliland was. I didn't see him up ahead of me, so I doubt I would have been able to get him if it stayed green. But I didn't want to yellow there. Chaos happens. We saw Fuller. He had a little bit of wheel spin on that second or the final restart there, and I just hate when that happens, because all heck can break loose, and you never know if you're the victim or what. But came out second either way, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, it was a great run for you tonight. It seemed like tires were really important tonight. How important were those tires? On a long run for you tonight?
They're crucial. It was incredibly difficult to pass. You really need momentum from the high side to get around a guy, or really the first half of the run you kind of need to be patient so you have something for the last half. But that first run, I mean, you're really not knowing if it's going to go green or not. So I think that everyone kind of burned their stuff up that first run and had to adjust the second and third. But they're really important. That's where I was making my hay on that green flag stop, or the green flag run, and got around Tommy and Sean and Trey. A couple of those guys pitted pretty early and really caught me off guard. But I wanted to stick to my strategy, and it paid off. Worked really well.
Well, definitely, Chad. Hey, do you got anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors? Anybody that might have been watching tonight that you want to give a shout out to for the second place finish you got tonight?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Transervice. They're sponsoring me in this Monday night series. I'm pretty disgusted with trading paints right now. This is the 3rd time that they've shown the wrong car for me. So I need to give a shout out to Transervice for what they do for me and the Monday Night Series in general, being a sponsor for the Transervice series. SRN, I love you guys. Always got to give you guys a shout out. My teammates as well over at Crossover. They're a blast and we're good teammates.
Well, congratulations on your runner-up finish tonight. I know you would like to get the win, keep that streak alive, but second place isn't too bad. Good dash for cash run tonight. Good run for the points, and just a good race overall, Chad. Congratulations on your second place.
The big cat's purring tonight, baby.
That's right. Big cat's purring. Back up to you, Gaio.
Yeah, saying like you mentioned about the dash for cash, I was able to get the Sim500 fearless leader Joey Jatina to do some quick number crunching for me because I am not as good at math as he is. However, we do have the final four for the dash for cash, and the four are Justin Fuller with 109 points, David Comstock has 106 points, Chad Cole with 106 points as well, and the final to make it in there is Trey Edson with 99 points. So unfortunately for Daniel Fockingham, he came up 7 points short to make it into that final four for the Dash for Cash sponsored by English Auto. And then Nick Silver had 85 points. So yeah, so unfortunate for them as they did not quite get there. I say that lap one unfortunate accident really hurt Daniel's chances of it. So he'll have to go after it another time there. But yeah, those will be the four that you'll see at Kansas going for the cash. Thank you to English Auto for putting that on. So you'll see Justin Fuller, David Comstock, Chad Cole, and Trey Edson going for a little bit of extra dollars to put in their wallet.
Yeah, it's a tight battle right there between that Dash for Cash series, and I think you've caught up with Adam Gillen there in Victory Lane, if I'm correct there, Gaio.
I have a say here in Victory Lane with Adam Gilliland, another solid performance there. I don't know if you've been keeping track, but you've had 7 starts here, 4 of them have been wins, and all of them have been at least a top 5. So take us through your race there and tell us what are you doing to be so fast?
I don't know. I wish I could, give an answer. Even though probably if I did have the answer, I probably wouldn't give it away for my competition. But yeah, it's been a great start to the season. Unfortunately, I had to miss a few races, but the ones we've been here, we've been able to make the most of and be competitive and have some wins there. So tonight was a lot of fun. Probably the first Dover race I've ever ran where we've gone 170 laps without a caution. So that was a lot of fun. It really will test you. So tonight's setup was a little bit tight. It was kind of a battle between myself and Fuller early on. Whoever had the clean air was going to prevail, and fortunately, through a little bit of short pitting and whatnot through green flag pit stops, I was able to get the lead, and we really never looked back.
Yeah, so it looked like on the long run, you definitely were able to kind of keep a handle on things. I mean, we did notice, obviously, it looked like it was a handful after a couple of not a couple laps, after let's say 20, 30 laps or so. Definitely was not the easiest to keep under you, especially coming off the turns down that straightaway. But yeah, it seemed like once you're able to get that lead, you were able to kind of set sail there and put some pretty quick laps down there. Did you have the plan for the 2-stop from the get-go, or as I saw, at least one guy was going for the 3-stopper?
Yeah, I saw Trey and a few other guys were going to do that. iRacing currently has a deal to where you do the majority of your tire fall off in the first 15 to 20 laps. After that, it's pretty minimal. You only fall off maybe hundredths. So I knew that the least amount of stops was going to be the best way to go. And with that caution on the first lap, it set up for 195. So it's pretty basic math. You just divide that by 3, and it was 2 stops, good to go to the end. So yeah, it was really tight. But like you said, after like 30 laps, the rear tires started to go away, and it was kind of a handful in the straightaways. So really happy with how tonight went, and looking forward to the next one.
So yeah, like you said, really long green flag runs there. Did you have any nerves at the end with those 2 late race restarts?
You never know. You never like to see the caution come out, especially because it just allows for more restarts. So I could have just as easily spun the tires, kind of like I did the first start of the race. So thankfully I didn't, and was able to hold off Chad. Chad was really fast all night. I don't know if he just was fighting track position, but I feel like if he was up there and didn't have to deal with passing some guys, that he could have easily won this race too.
I'll say another good run for Adam Gillen. Say, want to give you, of course, the opportunity with another win here. Any thanks or shout outs that you have to sponsors or fans out there?
Absolutely, yeah. I just got to thank my sponsor that's on the car every week, Gary Mercer Trucking. My buddy Brennan's been supporting me for a long time on this whole iRacing thing, so really thankful for that continued support. And as always, I really enjoy going back and watching your guys' broadcast. You guys do a tremendous job, so thanks to you guys and everyone at Sim500 for putting this on.
And there you have it from your race winner, Adam Gilland. Like I said, he's had 7 starts. 4 of them have been wins, and all of them have been top 5. So say we'll catch him again hopefully in a couple weeks here at Kansas.
He's definitely a force to be reckoned with when he shows up for these races. Like you said, he can't keep all these races. He can't, do all these races. But when he is here, he's definitely making his presence known to the rest of this field.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. I'll say if he's able to start making some more races. I mean, he's missed a handful, but again, he's still in the top 11 in points. So you keep having runs like that, and he can easily make a challenge for this one. But yeah, I'll say any final thoughts from tonight's race though, Don?
I mean, just like all these guys were saying, to reflect what they were basically saying. I mean, to have 170 some odd laps at Dover of green flag racing with these guys just shows a lot about Sim500 and this Transervice Cup Series. These guys just had a great race tonight. Green flag pit stops. We had an early caution in the beginning of the race, but the rest of the race was just a fantastic race. One of the best races we've had all year. So it was definitely a fun race to call. Definitely a fun race to watch. And yeah, it was a good race to watch up here with you in the booth, Kyle.
All right, I'll say always enjoy sharing the booth with you. I'll say so. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna do my best. So I apologize if I don't get everything right, but I want to thank you all for tuning into the Sim Racing Network, the Sim500 Trans Cup service here at Dover. So again, I'm Guile Brooks. Thank you, Don Ronco. I'm sorry, Transervice Cup Series. So again, I'm Guile Brooks. Thank you, Don, joining me in the booth, and of course, Aaron Grosskopf doing all the camera work in the bottom. And yeah, I believe our John Mustang likes to say is be sure to keep that phone down while you're driving, no texting, and it can wait till wherever you arrive. So have a good night, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.